Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us here today. Lovely to see so many people in attendance. But before we get started, if you have a pen and paper handy, take note of our reservations telephone number. It's just at the bottom of the screen, along with our website. So the number is 1300 938 534, and our website is railbookers.com.au. Now, we do have some interesting information to give you today, but of course, if you do have any questions throughout the presentation, put them in the question box and I'll be happy to provide you all with an answer at the end of this presentation. So I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Charlene and I'm one of the business development executives here with Railbookers. And today for about the next half hour or so, I'm going to take you through some of our luxury train offerings. But let's give that question box a little bit of a test out. I'd love to know what destinations you're currently dreaming about traveling to for your next holiday, whether it be this year or even 2022. Put those through to us. I'd love to hear. Maybe I've got some hints and tips to share or some information that we can share together. Fantastic. Yeah, I can see a few people mentioning Australia there. Of course, domestic is what we can do right now. So certainly that has been proving popular in terms of what we've been getting through in inquiries. Yeah, Neville, I can see Canada. Excellent. Yeah, Canada's amazing. And of course, you've got the Rocky Mountaineer, which we will cover off today on one of our itineraries. So yeah, lots of inquiry coming through for 2022 for Canada and hopefully a lot of overseas following up. I can see New Zealand mentioned as well. Beautiful destination. Of course, I'd love to go across the ditch and hopefully later this year that will be possible for us all. So today I really just want to hone in on those luxury trains across the world, those special bucket list itineraries that we all dream of doing at least once in our lifetime. And we are Railbookers. So we're part of the Yankee Leisure Group family of brands, selling the world when it comes to rail vacations. And this includes destinations such as Canada, Europe, Asia, South Africa, USA, as well as here in Australia and New Zealand too. And it's not just the rail that we book, we offer a one-stop shop booking experience for you. So like any vacation package you might have booked in the past, our packages include everything from the rail transport, you've got the seat reservations, hotels, sightseeing tours, transfers, and more. And one of the biggest benefits that we do have is the ability to secure rail 24 months in advance. So just as you come to expect the likes of those cruises and the coach tours out there, we have the rail 2 years in advance. And this is all because we have the direct rail partnerships worldwide. And you can use our services to get you to some amazing bucket list destinations with the freedom and flexibility to book when and where you want to go. So you're not going to be locked into any specific dates or itineraries. We can customize all the arrangements for you. And when you give us a call, you only have an average hold time of 3 seconds. And that you get through to one of our rail expert team. They're able to provide you with an instant quote, and all our team are rail experts. We do know because we go on the rail and we can offer you first-hand knowledge. So for myself, for instance, I have been through Europe, the USA, a bit of Australia as well, a bit of New Zealand, but Europe is definitely my cup of tea, my expertise. And then for my colleagues like Sarah or Carol, they've both been through Canada and the USA on the rail. They know it very well, so they can offer you, as I said, that first-hand knowledge. And all the arrangements are stress-free, so taking the train means you'll be able to sit back and relax and take in the full views as well as having room to roam. So not like those coach tours. You can get out of your seat, you can visit the cafe, the observatory car, or you can stretch your legs. And unlike flying, all the rail stations are central in the cities. So there's no more traveling in and out of town for hours, checking in luggage and doing the same on the other end. It really does come with that level of convenience. And all the while, you're going to have 24-hour support from our global network of offices. So we've got our office here based in Sydney, but we do have other offices, 2 in the USA, 1 in Canada, and 1 in the UK. So all those time zones are covered. Now, I mentioned we can customize, so we can tailor make your holidays. And if you see something that's similar to what you want online, rest assured we can amend it as necessary. So our experts are happy to add on any destination. They can adjust an itinerary to make it a round trip, book a trip in reverse, as well as look at alternative hotels to suit your needs and budget. So we've got 3 to 5 star hotels, so we can definitely offer you that little bit of luxury. We can also upgrade the rail classes for you as well and add on extra sightseeing. So we can make any itinerary a really luxurious one for you, a little bit of luxury, as we like to say. And to make sure that you have more confidence in booking with us, we have a maximum flexibility offer in place. So any new and existing reservations can change travel dates or cancel up to 5 days prior to departure without any fees involved. And this is in place until the 31st of March. We've just extended it out to the end of the first quarter. And of course, we'll keep an eye on things and see how they're all going in the world, but we may extend that out yet again. But of course, let's kick off. We'd like to talk about itineraries, and this one's for you, Neville. This is Canada, and we're going to start with one of the best-selling itineraries we actually have. So this is the luxury train known the world over as the Rocky Mountaineer is included in it, and it's the Grand Circle of the Canadian Rockies. It's a 9-day itinerary. So you get to discover the wonders of the Canadian Rockies on this grand rail journey with the Rocky Mountaineer, as well as Via Rail, which is the Canadian National Train Service. So you get to travel through the Canadian Rockies along the Fraser River and Canyon to places that no cars can go. You get to spend time exploring all the iconic emerald lakes and beautiful waterfalls in the heart of the Canadian Rockies. Get to travel to the mountainside town of Banff, the picturesque Lake Louise, and along the Icefields Parkway to the charming town of Jasper. Now, obviously, one of the biggest highlights of this tour is taking that magnificent Rocky Mountaineer, but as well as this, you do get sightseeing tours of Banff National Park and Lake Louise. You get admission to the Banff Gondola, sightseeing tour of the Icefields Parkway, and you'll experience an overnight rail journey on Via Rail, Canada's national rail service. Now, this tour, even at this time, it is most popular in terms of the inquiries and bookings, as I mentioned, and it's all because of this. It's the Rocky Mountaineer. It's obviously one of the world's most famous luxury trains. We like to include Silverleaf on this. Silverleaf is sort of the lead-in, though. It is travelling in a single-deck dome car, huge panoramic windows, as you can see in these images here. But we do offer an upgrade to the premium Gold Leaf. So the Gold Leaf is probably what's most known in terms of the Rocky Mountaineer. It's travelling in that modern double-deck dome car. Upstairs, you've got the glass roof there with the 72 reclining seats, lots of leg room. You've got drop-down tables. And then what will happen when you've got your breakfast and your lunch on board is going to go downstairs. So downstairs, you've got a 36-seat restaurant for breakfast and lunch. So fresh meals are included on that. Spectacular, you do it in 2 seatings, obviously. If there's 72 people above, 36 seats in the restaurant, you'll do it in 2 seatings for the food. But also, I'd like to mention there is a small open-air viewing platform for fresh air and reflection-free photography. So great journey on that Rocky Mountaineer train that we can offer you. Heading over to Switzerland, which is a lovely scenic country, very similar to Canada in terms of the great scenery that you can see through the mountains. We have our Grand Glacier Express, and this is an excellence class, which I'll explain to you very shortly. But if you're ready to experience the Swiss Alps, you'll be able to take this 6-day journey with the opportunity to visit the likes of Zurich. You'll get to travel to Zermatt via Visp, take that Gornergrat Cog Railway all the way up to the top for incredible views of the surrounding landscapes, then take an unforgettable panoramic journey on the legendary Glacier Express in excellence class. So this train journey through the Swiss Alps really, truly has not been more luxurious. It's a brand new class on offer in the last couple of years that we like to take advantage of. So you get a guaranteed window seat. There's 291 bridges and 91 tunnels en route to St. Moritz from Zermatt, and it all can be enjoyed from a remarkable perspective. So your seats in excellence class are the most sought after in all of Switzerland, so you need to discover why. So I'll show you this. This is the excellence class. As I said, it is very luxurious indeed, one of the new classes on board this train. And the Glacier Express itself, well, it's actually a slow journey. So it takes 8 hours from Zermatt to St. Moritz, but it really does it in style. And along the way, you're going to have Matterhorn views. It goes through the Rhine Gorge, which is Switzerland's answer to the Grand Canyon. And this is really special in terms of excellence class. You get guaranteed window seat, as I mentioned. There's complimentary services, exclusive access to the Glacier Bar. You've got a tablet there which has some information as well as entertainment on board. There's this concierge that's going to look after all your needs. Luggage transport in dedicated lockable sections on board, so makes it a lot quicker to check in. As you can see here, it's a little bit of the red carpet treatment, and you get a 5-course menu cooked on board, and it's served with local wines. Staying in a very similar part of the world, obviously covering off sort of UK, France and Switzerland, as well as Italy, we have our Benina Express and Venice Simplon Orient Express. This is an 8-day journey, so it really takes in that amazing, very historical, luxurious train, the Venice Simplon Orient Express, en route to magical Venice. So I can feel there's really no better way to explore these regions of Europe. If you really want the luxury, you get to discover it all on board the Venice Simplon Orient Express in a private cabin, and you can take in all those incredible views. And in Venice, you get to explore the picturesque canals and the history of one of the world's most visited destinations, and then take the Benina Express through the Swiss Alps to the lakeside resort town of St. Moritz for a relaxing 2-night stay. Now, first to cover off just with the Benina Express, if you'd like to know a little bit about it, you're going to travel in panoramic sightseeing cards from Chor and St. Moritz in eastern Switzerland down the south to Tirano, which is actually just across the border into northern Italy. So if you've seen amazing pictures of trains traveling sort of through viaducts and those spirals and everything, it's a very, very good chance that is the Benina you're looking at. It has 55 tunnels, it has 196 bridges, and the railway is actually declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site. So something really special indeed. But you want to talk about special? Well, the trip kicks off with the amazing Venice Simplon Orient Express. So you get to step on board the historic carriages of the Venice Simplon Orient Express and discover a hidden jewel that's glittering and timeless. It's a real uncontested icon of the rails. It's long captured the hearts and imaginations of some very glamorous guests, so you can join them in regards to, you know, adding your name to the list of all those that have travelled in front of you. And there are 3 elegant dining carriages, and they exude culinary sophistication. They've got sort of the glass inlays from like Côte d'Azur and the black lacquer panels from the Oriental. So really beautiful indeed. As you can see here, you've got the bar car, and this glows with sort of that champagne sparkle. And they've got a resident pianist, and he'll fill the air with sweet melodies. And you've got stewards, of course, in that blue and gold livery that are going to have that white glove service that makes it really special, and they'll welcome you on board with a knowing smile. And you get to settle into your cabin, so it is an overnight trip. So settling in, you've got all the Art Deco detail and the French polished cherry wood. You get to sit back as a grand voyage begins. Very similar to that, but in a different part of the world, we have the Eastern and Oriental Express going from Bangkok to Singapore. It's a 7-day journey. This is actually a trip that's been long on my bucket list. I haven't visited enough of the Asian regions, and if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it in style. So you get to enjoy the best of the Far East on this luxurious rail journey. Following an overnight stay in Bangkok, you travel through Thailand, past the legendary River Kwai, and onwards to Malaysia on board the opulent carriages of the Eastern and Oriental Express. And you get to finish your journey with an exciting 2-night stay in Singapore. I love Singapore, great city to go to, fantastic zoo and lots of other attractions to visit. So definitely can fill those 2 days very easily. But like its similarly named Orient Express in Europe, this train really oozes those romantic notions of train travel. So you get to experience relaxed sophistication on board, and you'll travel between some really vibrant cities. You'll go past some quaint villages and ancient monuments. You get to be pampered on board with luxurious accommodations as well as five-star cuisine, and really enjoy the fascinating cultural tours along the way. So they do some tours along the way and stop along there. So it is an exotic rail journey that is simply the best way to experience the wonders of the Far East. And then coming a little bit close to home, we've got our Great Garden Adventure. Now this is again another really popular journey. Obviously with domestic for 2021, that's the way to go. And the Garden has been extremely busy. So if you are keen to do the Garden Adventure, I would suggest booking it as soon as possible. I know that there's very limited availability. We're sort of leaving, I think October, November, December is the earliest we sort of get the availability for 2021. It's that busy on this journey. But it is an epic 4-day, 3-night journey on board the Guard and Gold service, travelling from Darwin through Catherine, Alice Springs, Cooper Pedy, and then finally onto Adelaide. So at each stop, you get to choose sort of the wide range of included and upgradable of train excursions, and it makes your adventure sort of uniquely your own. So you've got the Gardens luxurious amenities on board, whilst you watch all the landscapes of the outback pass you by, and each day really does offer something new and exciting to look at. The train itself, well, you get the sumptuous dining that we hear so much about. There's elegant private cabins, there's attentive service, and the camaraderie of your fellow travellers. I have sent my parents on this one, and the thing that they came back and said is how many new friends they made whilst on this journey. So definitely that bar car is one of the places to be at. It's the great hangout of the Guard, but you also have so the train trips. Off the train, you've got all the adventures, all your meals included. You've got your fine wines, your beverages, as well as those immersive off-train experiences. As I mentioned, you've got Marla, Alice Springs, and Catherine to enjoy those. And then something a little bit more off the beaten track. Going from Australia over to the likes of Russia, we have the Golden Eagle Trans-Siberians. So this is a 15-day journey going across Russia and Mongolia from Moscow to Vladivostok on board the Trans-Siberian. So this is one that you're never going to forget. Again, it goes straight onto my bucket list. If I win lotto, this is the trip I'm doing. So you get to do the Golden Eagle. It's a luxurious private train, and you can expect well-appointed en-suite cabins, fine dining, and first-class service. So there's stops in Kazan, Ekaterinburg, Novosibirsk, Irkutsk, Lake Baikal, Ulan-Ude, and Ulaanbaatar. So lots of stops along the way. You're not going to be on the train the whole time. You get to experience the vastness and the grandeur of Russia's rarely visited interior and the very best of Mongolia. So by the time your journey ends, you're going to pass through 8 different time zones and a third of the world's total time zones, actually. So you'll have travelled an incredible 11,000 kilometres through Russia and Mongolia. So this is the trip of a lifetime. And this is a premier luxury rail service. As I said, it crosses the great expanse of Russia. You get your private luxurious train. You get to experience the fine dining and the elegant surroundings, no matter what class you travel in. But of course, first class service is included as standard. And we have a personal cabin attendant there, giving all the service at all times, making sure that they look after all your needs. And you can unwind in the comfortable surroundings and watch the world go by as you get to know your fellow passengers in the social part of the Golden Eagle, that bar lounge car. It's like every luxury train has one of these, and it is definitely the social butterfly area. So in this area, you get to learn also about the surroundings, there's special talks, and also undertake activities that bring the location to life. So you get tastings of things like caviar and language lessons as well. And of course, there are the private cabins, so featuring the state-of-the-art amenities. You're going to have spacious cabins there. They've got everything from the private bathroom with a separate power shower and underfloor heating with a DVD and CD player, so you can keep yourself entertained when necessary. There's also a safe and individual air conditioning unit. There's a wardrobe and a large picture window. So if you don't want to be in the bar car, you can definitely enjoy the surroundings of your own cabin too. Now, of course, today is just a sample of what we offer you, and we do have many more luxury trains across the world. So the Indian Pacific, for instance, here in Australia, we've got the Belmont train, such as the Trans-Siberian in Ireland. We've also got the Belmont trains in Scotland as well. Or you've got the Blue train in South Africa. You can choose some more off the beaten track destinations over the other side of the world, like the Maharajas Express or the Palace on Wheels in India. So plenty to choose from when it comes to luxury trains with here at Railbookers. I will let you know we do have some sales on at the moment, focusing particularly on Australia and New Zealand. You can save up to $500 per couple. The one for $500 that we do have right now is the Queensland Adventure. So I highly recommend this. This is something that I'm actually hoping to do next month if borders remain open. It's a train trip going from Sydney all the way up to Cairns and Port Douglas. So you get to go up there on the Spirit of Queensland train, which is very similar to like a business class pod on an airline. So you get to lie back, relax, sleep on the train. It's a lie flat seat, all the amenities on board. So something a little bit special. I wouldn't call it luxury, but it is certainly something a little bit special and a little bit different to do if you want to see that coastline of Queensland and, of course, see the beautiful Great Barrier Reef right up the top as well. Now, why you should travel with Railbookers. I have mentioned this before, but I'm just going to remind you that we do have that 24-hour support globally. You get to travel stress-free in comfort with freedom and flexibility to tailor make your next holiday. And Rail is scenic and relaxing, so great way to go, lots of room to roam, and you get to the heart of your destinations. I will let you know we do have another webinar coming up in a couple of weeks' time. It is our Beyond the Port Cities. So if you are holding on to cruise credits like a lot of people are out there and you want to sort of start to make those arrangements for 2022, this is a really good webinar to join because this is 7 great rail itineraries for pre and post cruising. So great one to join on the 23rd of February, and we run that, it's the Tuesday, we run that at 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. So do keep an eye out for the email to invite you. We'd love to see you there. I am going to open up for questions now. If you would like to put those questions through, I'd be more than happy to answer those for you at this time. Yes, excellent. So I can see a question here in regards to deposit. So our standard product is just a deposit of $250 per person to lock in all your arrangements, and that's due at time of booking. And then your payment is generally due 60 days out from departure. There are a couple of exceptions, of course. One of those being the Garn, for instance, I believe is $1,000 per person deposit. That is a rule set by the Garn itself rather than ourselves. And again, you would have full payment due 60 days out from departure. Excellent. Yeah, just a question in regards to the tailor making. So we don't charge any extra for tailor making. It's all put together by us. Exactly everything we sell is independent. It's not group tours, so we can tailor make whatever you need. And instead of maybe taking 5 minutes on the phone to quote that, because it's not a pre-made itinerary, it may take sort of 30 minutes to do with one of our staff. But they will get that quote out to you usually on the same day. We'll check the availability for you at that same time as well. So the costs that we have on that quote are correct. Yes, and of course we can tailor make, as I'm looking at 5-star hotels we have on our books, so we can definitely take any of our normal itineraries and we can add the upgrade. Like for instance, with the Garn, We can go from gold class to platinum class. We can add that on for you. We can change the hotels for you. Another great one that's been coming through quite often with the Garden is an add-on to Kangaroo Island. So we can do flights from Adelaide to Kangaroo Island and do an overnight stay in Kangaroo Island rather than doing a day trip. And I tell you, having been to Kangaroo Island, you do want to do it that way and stay at least a night there, because as a day trip, it took about 18 hours. It was a very, very long day. I did that last November, and yeah, certainly learnt my lesson, and I would highly recommend that as an add-on to clients. Oh, okay. Sorry, Steve. Yes, I can see. So that Eastern Oriental Express flight, it says the journey starts and ends with flights to the UK. Now, I will correct, actually, that map is incorrect. That was an old map. Usually people fly into the UK and we will fly them from there. But what we will do, the pricing that is actually on there is correct for Australia. It just doesn't include the flight. So you need to get your own way into Asia. I will fix up that map. Thank you for bringing that up. I'm glad that you did. That's an incorrect map. So it doesn't include flights, unfortunately, from anywhere, whether it be the UK or Australia. I will fix that map up for the next presentation. Sorry about that, Steve, but thank you for bringing it up. As I said, it's great that you picked that up, and I didn't pick it up in my check as well. So, yeah, unfortunately, not the case, not the case. So, yes, excellent. So, thank you so much. Thank you, Neville. Lovely to see you here, and thank you, Steve, and I can see a few other people. So, thank you for your great feedback. It's lovely to have such an engaged audience. So what I will do, I will start to wrap up now, but I will remind you, 2 days to 2 years. This is the long and short of our booking period. So you can book anything as soon as 2 days in advance, all the way up to the 2-year mark. And of course, if you aren't ready to book it, that's okay as well. We can take your calls whether you're interested in a quote, you just want to ask questions, we can save a quote for later. Everything is ready to go for you right now. And we have that maximum flexibility offer in place. So that stays in play into the 31st of March. So definitely give us a call. We'd love to put some sales on there for you as necessary if you are planning on Australian trips, New Zealand trips, and of course we'll keep you up to date on any of our other further sales. So thank you so much, as I said, for joining me. It's great to have you all here. I hope you're well. Do take care and have a great day. Bye for now.